I wanted to make a video slideshow of Mom's life before she met Dad, her first 30 years. Mostly for my siblings, but partially for me. I did learn quite a few things I didn't know about Mom, and I wanted to share that. As you know, Mom was born to Lucille Eleanor Perry and Charles Graham Anderson in 1921. At the time, Charles had been a stockbroker in Shanghai, and they had just had to move to Hong Kong to downsize in the wake of some economic difficulties. They brought along with them their 3 children they had before, including Joyce, and had the Mom and subsequently her younger brother, Graham. Mom grew especially tight with Joyce, of course, being closest in age. And Mom's original language, I may not be aware, was actually Cantonese for the first couple of years. She followed her sister Joyce into Diocesan Girls' School, spent most of her youth there. I made some lifelong friends there, and grew quite close, like I say, with Joyce. Subsequently, when she was 12, Mom contracted a disease in her bone marrow and was hospitalized, where she almost died. She was in fact declared dead for a while. She did recover, but her family decided to send her to England to get another diagnosis by her Uncle Henry. So in 1937 she sailed and went to live in Wales. And she also studied in England some post-secondary education stuff, and lived there till the following spring, and visited the Jersey Islands, the Alderney and whatnot, and went to France. At some point, Mom did study at St. Giles College in London. Following year, spring, amid fears of war surrounding Europe, Mom returned to Hong Kong, but of course it was ironically, because it was starting to be surrounded by Japanese troops, and Canadian troops were sent in to reinforce the Hong Kong volunteers, among which included her brother, who had recently acquired the post of magistrate, that's a crown attorney for the Hong Kong government. And he had only been in the job for a little while, a few months, when he was signed up for the Hong Kong Volunteer Defense Force and to defend Wong Chin Gap, Wai Nai Chung Gap in Hong Kong Island. Within 11 days, he was killed in the war, and the Japanese troops poured in and occupied Hong Kong for the next 4 or 5 years. And eventually sent Mom to Langhua internment camp, where Aunt Kitty was also detained for the duration of the war. In 1945, in September, the Japanese surrendered Hong Kong officially, and Mom was liberated and moved immediately back to Hong Kong, where she subsequently sought to be repatriated to England. Along the way, she met her fiancé, Doug, who was one of the pilots that transported them to England. She spent a couple of years in London studying to gain entrance for for the university studies at the University of London. And she eventually she did return to the East to follow her fiance there to Singapore, but they did break up and shortly, and she became part of the Singapore club scene with her friends, her girlfriends, whatnot. And then finally she decided to move to Canada shortly thereafter, and through Vancouver, and then resided briefly in Toronto before moving on to Montreal.